All right, everybody. Welcome to what is probably going to be like my first um, reactionary and reviewing content here on the Level 88 Gaming Channel. Of course, I am James Johnson, and I am the creator of Level 88 Gaming here with my niece here. I got a guest today as we are going to react to the best of Summer Gamer Fest and or Game Fest. We're not going to do the whole thing because we be here for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Me and her are such video game enthusiasts. We can really watch it the whole time and like keep y'all here for past 3 hours, honestly. So we're gonna do the best of here. Found the video up that we got pulled up, but before we get into that, I will have Jazz introduce herself. You all might know her as she always supports the channel, always there. She does a lot for the channel. She came up with the Level 88 logo, by the way. So if Level 88 blows up, I owe her a lot of money. Well, I owe her a lot of money regardless, probably either way, for being there for me. But yeah, Jazz, introduce yourself, and we're happy to have you.
Hey, I'm Jazz. I'm the niece, and I'm just here to support.
That's all.
That's all I got.
That's what she does in Resident Evil, as well too. Helps me make better decisions in the game, even though I'm the Resident Evil veteran. But Jazz has saved me a few times in Resident Evil from doing some real stupid stuff, going in there guns a blazing, which which is crazy. But yeah, I appreciate you coming through, Jazz. And yeah, we're just gonna give our takes and perspectives on each of these games here. We just got a best of compilation from Summer Game Fest. Just some announcements that were announced, which everybody probably already know. Code Veronica was announced, so that'll be like the first, but I don't want to ruin the rest of it. That'll be the first thing that pops up. Not sure what else will show. I did, oh yeah, Jazz, I forgot to mention this to you though. I did see that a Stellar Blade like spinoff was announced or
Yeah, I
something.
saw it too. I didn't know if you heard it or not, so I didn't want to spoil
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I was like, that's not Eve when I saw the picture, but I didn't watch.
hmm
I avoided the video at all costs. But I was like, that's not Eve, but we'll check it out and we'll see it. But yeah, we'll check out the other games here. Again, we're starting with Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. Everybody know I'm a big Resident Evil fan. And yeah, let's get going here, Chaz.
Okay.
Is the audio good
I can
for you?
hear it. It's a little quiet, but I can hear it.
Okay. I like these graphics so far.
hmm
Oui? Qui est-ce? So, you're the American who called earlier. The sister of the man on the third floor. Ah, welcome to Paris. It's so nice to meet you. Oh, it's freezing. Come in. Come in. We don't want you to catch a cold. I hate to say it, but your brother is, well, quite odd. In we go.
Wait, I don't think this is Code Veronica though. Check this out though.
In we go. Oh là là. Mais quelle pagaille. He's made such a mess again. Think, I just cleaned it up a week ago. It's like a boulder rolled through here. Huh? Ah, the delightful biscuit. I'm sure he won't notice if we help ourselves. Oh, Ilong.
Is the sound out of
I'll
sync
bring
for
some
you?
nice
Jay?
coffee to go with the biscuit.
Oh, it's back now.
Is it still synced up for you?
It seems like it.
Okay. Cool, cool. Oh, that's not good.
Don't move.
There she
Claire
go.
Redfield.
Claire. All right, Jazz. So I think that was the Resident Evil. We got another game coming up here. We ain't gonna ruin it, whatever it is. But what did you think of Resident Evil Code Veronica remake?
That looked really like stunning, visually speaking. Like it
Mm,
looked really beautifully rendered.
yeah,
And I think probably like all of my Resident Evil knowledge is very much like secondhand from you because
right.
that's not like a series that I personally mess with. So in terms of like the origins and things like that, I'm
Mm,
probably not the best suited to react to that. But I will say I don't know if one is an homage to the other. The hospital they were at looks really similar to the hospital that Brace just got out of in
oh,
Resident
yeah,
Evil 9. Yeah.
yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
it's probably because
intentional?
they are using the same engines and whatnot. And so
Mm-hmm.
Code Veronica is one of the ones I've never played and I'm not super familiar with. Of course, I'm familiar with Claire. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, no, that hospital, now that you mention it, it looked awfully similar. So it's probably because they're using the same engines and stuff. It gave off vibes of also Expedition 33, like when she was
Mm-hmm.
outside of the
Mm-hmm.
building and the snow falling and just like the brick roads and whatnot. I was like, okay, this feels like Expedition 33. But yeah, no, it's probably because, like I said, they're using the same engine and what have you. I do recall, I think the story behind Code Veronica is, I think Veronica is another T virus variation, if I'm not mistaken. And I think what happens is, in the storyline, and it's crazy. This is one of the ones I'm not familiar with. I could talk about Resident Evil for days, but Claire ends up going on an island somewhere, maybe in search of Chris. Of course, as we all know, Chris is her brother, but in search of Chris. And she ends up getting imprisoned on the island. And it's so that's the kind of theme of it, is like an escape from the island type of deal,
Mm-hmm.
while dealing with everything that's going on the island, which is biohazardous, biohazard related. And the Veronica virus, I guess, is been turned loose on that particular island. So that's a lot of what it's about. I think that cutscene is her before she gets abducted and taken to the island, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken. So again, my memory a little fuzzy on Veronica because Code Veronica, because that's one of the ones I didn't play at all. I played Nemesis, of course, number 3, Resident Evil 3. Played a little bit of 2 as a kid as well, and I'm playing 2 currently, the remake. Of course, like everybody can recall what 1 was like because at this point everybody's seen gameplay of that one. But yeah, no, I'm interested in it, man. I love the graphics, and yeah, man. Of course, like I can't wait to see more because we'll get introduced to Chris, right? We'll get introduced to some other characters that people have known to love, some villains people that have known to love throughout the series. And the graphics look like it won't disappoint with the introduction of those people.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would definitely watch somebody else play
Which would be me.
it.
Right. No, yeah, I'm definitely getting the Code Veronica. I mean, I can't not get it. Like the first thing I've streamed on my channel is Resident Evil 9, and I said I want to play them all of the main storyline ones, which this one is. So I definitely got to get the remake. And also too, I can't wait to see that. Seeing it with that engine and those graphics also makes me want to see Resident Evil Zero, right? Which is the
Mhm.
next one that they are making a remake of. And it was a rumor that they might even release videos of both at the same time, Veronica and Zero. But I think Zero is a little bit behind the remake,
Mhm.
bit behind Veronica in terms of development. But I can't wait to see that too, right? And those graphics, now that you mention it, I don't want to talk everybody ears off here though, but those graphics, now that you mention it, now I want to see it in Zero where Rebecca's on the train, right? And her and Billy Cohen are fighting through hordes of like these leech zombies. That's the theme of that one. Like they're on a train as it's like going throughout like the woods of Raccoon City. So I want to see those graphics applied on the train and see Rebecca's journey and Billy's journey and in Resident Evil Zero as well. And yeah, man, I just can't wait, man. I'm excited about Capcom has been doing phenomenal things. Excited about it.
All that's left is Ace Attorney.
Yeah. They need to stop dragging their feet, right? Yeah, yeah. Objection. All right. So let's see what we got here. I'm clueless as to what this is. So
I saw it before you paused it.
okay. So
Long ago,
oh,
a shadow fell upon our planet. Guided by calamity, one man sought dominion through reunion. By his will, a star fell. A meteor called forth to bring ruin to all. But our planet answered, awakening mighty weapons to stand against the celestial threat. Now, hope endures in those who fight.
Long story short, the world's in trouble. Has been for a while.
So what are we waiting for? Let's give Sephiroth the beating of a lifetime. You're mine. I'll make this quick. Good night.
The sky's the limit!
I can do this. I'll make you proud.
Just ain't your day. Oh my, is that a weapon I see?
Far as I can tell, these things don't distinguish between friend and foe.
Save the planet by killing her protectors. Let us put your faith to the test, Cloud.
all right. Oh man, y'all could, if only y'all saw it. Well, y'all saw it clearly. The smile on me and Jazz's face throughout that process. We are big Final Fantasy fans, right? And I think it started with me and Game Pro magazine. I know you remember that, Jazz. I'm telling our age now. Game Pro magazine. I'll never forget. I still have it actually. I can go find it. It was the cover of Game Pro magazine. Final Fantasy VII was on there, and it was actually a drawn rendering on it, and it looked very beautiful, by the way. And that's what started my love for Final Fantasy VII, and I passed it off to you. That's also right. I'm a little bit older, and I passed it off to you. And eventually down the road, you became a fan of it too. But this is the third rendition of Final Fantasy VII, the remake. This one is called Revelation, and it looks great. Want to hear your thoughts first?
Well, it's always exciting. I think for one thing that I've noticed about games in general, but especially in the games that have been announced, I would say over the last year or so, I think people get caught up in the cheapness of nostalgia baiting, but I also think it's just characters and stories that stand the test of time like this that you don't mind playing through over and over and over again.
Mhm.
And obviously love seeing the crew, love seeing Sid and Yuffie and Vincent, everybody. The worlds are just so beautifully rendered. And Final Fantasy VII, I think even back in the 90s,
Mhm.
with the limitations of technology, always just felt like bigger than life to me.
Yep.
And so seeing those stories like retold on much more capable engines and just like fully rendered the way that they actually felt when you played them back in the day,
Mhm.
always that's what brings like such a huge smile to my face, because it's just like we didn't know that we weren't seeing like truly cutting edge technology back then, but being able to see how the stories are rendered on these new engines, I feel like I just can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait to play through it and to especially like hear the scores
Mhm.
and just to see the story and this rendition of it come to its conclusion, because I do think this is the like third and final
It is.
game and the remake. So yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, as a little kid, I introduced you to it as an even younger kid. And yeah, this, you hit the nail on the head. This is what it felt like when we were playing it when we were younger. This is the world that we saw it as, even though like the technology was limited and we didn't know that there was a such thing as limited technology. We thought PlayStation 1 was as good as it was gonna get. But in
Mhm.
terms of in your imagination and how you envision it in your imagination, and if you were to dream about Final Fantasy in your sleep, that's exactly what the result would be, what they just showed in Revelation. And also like what they, Rebirth, right? Which I have on PlayStation 5 and I gotta play like I only played like a few minutes of it, but loved it. Like it was fun. It brought a new aspect of the combat in it, right? That we would never have imagined back then. It was turn based, right? You wait your turn and just hope you don't die. Basically,
Mhm.
that's how we
Mhm.
operated back in the day. But now they've added a new element where it's like real world combat. It's like whoever hits whoever first, or whoever has it in them to attack whoever is gonna attack, right? So and that's how a real world fight would go. Like you just fight until the end. Like it's no turns, no taking turns in fights, and that brings reality to it, right? And that's fun. And of course, it lets you flip between characters too as you're having these fights, right? So, like the part I played, for example, on Rebirth is Cloud and Sephiroth, right? When they first have their little first mission together and they take Tifa with them because Tifa kind of is their tour guide. They end up fighting a boss battle um, in one of the Mako reactors or whatever, and you get to switch between Cloud and Sephiroth as you're like having this real lifetime fight with this boss, and it was so dope, right? Because everybody love him or hate him, everybody has wanted to play at Sephiroth, right? Like we never
Mhm.
thought in our wildest dreams we'll get to do that. So like that's what I was more enamored with, by the way. I was like, man,
Mhm.
Cloud for years. Like I'm going straight to Sephiroth and using him, man. But yeah, just having that in real time. I guess like real being able to do the real time specials that they have and what have you. That was dope. And of course, they're gonna like incorporate that here in the new Final Fantasy with the new crew. And also too, like the big thing here is you have to go on without Aerith, right? Like
Mhm.
that's gonna be hard, and it's hard to see them without Aerith. But at the same time, it's gonna fuel you, right, to go through this game and finish it and make her death right as well. Which I don't think I'm spoiling anything. Everybody know Aerith passed away in the game.
Literally like 30 years ago.
Yeah, right, right. So like I had some trepidation about saying that. I was like, wait, you know this already, right? Like come on, let's be real. We were heartbroken then, still heartbroken now. But yeah, I think that's a big part of this too, is like making that right as well and going ahead and finishing off Sephiroth. But yeah, that trailer didn't disappoint. The worlds, the Bahamut, you saw the big Bahamut they had to fight.
Mhm.
Just it's like I can't wait to play that part of it, right?
Mhm.
That's what I've been doing for years. Is Final Fantasy 13 is one of my favorite in the series. Fighting Bahamut's is always fun, right? And see, you get to do that here, and you get to fight one that's larger than life. I don't think I've seen an enemy that big in any Final Fantasy game, but that'll be interesting as well. And I can't wait. I don't think they got a release date for it, but it would probably be next year. Definitely worth the pre-order. Definitely. I need to finish Rebirth first. And I haven't even finished the one before that either. So like,
Oh, really?
Nope. So yeah, I'm way behind. Yep. All right. So we'll go ahead, advance to the next part here. They might give us a release date though. We'll see. Oh.
Never would have made it this far without you guys. And I won't let you down. I promise.
At last, the promise is fulfilled.
Whoa,
The journey ends here.
Cannot wait. Got an Xbox title here. So yeah, we'll go through this one briefly. What did you think of that? It kind of felt a lot like Titanfall a little bit. Just a tad bit, which I've been waiting for them to make a Titanfall forever, a new one. But at the same time, it feels like it's more story based than Titanfall, so it's worth checking out. I don't know if I put it at the top of my list, but definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about a Gen Atlas before we saw that trailer, so I'm not sure what to make of it. It does look really interesting. Parts of it kind of reminded me of what was the Star Wars game for Nintendo 64?
It was a few. Was it Rogue Squadron?
I can't recall.
But yeah, the one I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, where you get to fly around on the ship and you have to like tie up the big gargantuan things with the cables and stuff. I forgot what that was called, but I know exactly the one you're talking about though.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it because I was like 5.
Yeah, yeah. That game was extremely hard too. Yeah.
We might have just been very little.
It hasn't withstood the test of time that great. It was,
yeah. But either way, that's kind of like the only comparison I can think to draw. Right. I am just kind of inherently interested in anything that seems to be like an exploration of either space or ancient civilizations. Right. So I definitely would read more about it. But that's on my not urgent list for now.
Right. Yeah, and it's on Xbox. Like we don't neither one of us
Oh,
have
true. I
Xbox.
probably
Well,
wouldn't.
it's like Epic, so I don't know. Like it might be on PC, but
Like a timed exclusive.
yeah, we'll see. All right, we got another video here, so let's see what this is all about.
Hello there, I'm Cuphead here at Studio MDHR headquarters. And today, we have a special announcement for all of you. We're happy to confirm that development has begun on a brand new, hand-animated Cuphead video game.
Nice.
Our talented team is hard at work on this ambitious project, which will take Cuphead and friends on a fresh, exciting adventure. It's still in early stages, but we look forward to revealing more when the time is right. Well, from all of us here at Studio MDHR, thank you for... I didn't know this was plugged in. Hello? Yes? Oh, indeed. Oh, you want me to tell them? Yes, I'll tell them. Yes, right now. Well, it seems I have one more surprise. A small team within our studio has been working in secret on something completely different. This new project is a love letter to the era that brought us into the world of video games. We have prepared a sneak peek, and I'd say it's pretty radical. Over here? Pretty radical.
Let's roll the clip.
Yeah, let's roll the clip.
Now in development at Studio MDHR. It's Mighty Cuphead Adventure. A new fast-action platform shooter with arcade-quality graphics and amazing sound. Mighty Cuphead Adventure.
Only from Studio MDHR.
All right. So yeah, what did you think of the Cuphead? I love the retro vibes, man. It felt like an old commercial from 1991, and it looked like the little console they had, which was a generic console, but it looks like the old like Atari or Nintendo that we used to play back in the day. But I love the whole theme of that video that they went with.
Oh, me too. I think Studio MDHR and Cuphead in particular, I know when it first came out was really radical at the time just because that use of like rubber hose animation and retro like hand-drawn details isn't often seen in gaming anyway. Right. And I feel like it's a pointed statement to say that they're doing another hand-drawn game like in today's era where I think there are a lot of concerns around things that are like generated by AI and just reiterating like the value of hand-drawn entertainment. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and exactly, and especially even just like the announcement that they did, creating like a little puppet figure, and just like their commitment to the bit, I feel like is really honorable. Right. And I mentioned like nostalgia baiting earlier, but personally, I'm not someone who gets sick of being baited into nostalgia. I love a sentimental game, and I'm really looking forward to the game that they teased, the 8-bit side scroller. It looked a lot like the NES and SNES games of yore, the like Lion King and Aladdin type titles. So I think that would be a day one buy for me.
Yeah, that's right up your alley. And yeah, like it just feels like, it feels like those old Steamboat Disney cartoons, right? And Felix the Cat cartoons that we used to watch. And too, it does. And when you mention those games like Aladdin and Lion King, Cuphead, I've never played one, but I've watched Charles and Jonesy play it. It also has that difficulty to it that those games have too. Like, so
more like punishing than you would think for platformers.
Yeah, like I guess the best comparison I can make is that I have played back in the day a lot of Contra. Contra is extremely hard. Metal Slug, which is Metal Slug a little easier than Contra, but Metal Slug and Contra, it has that kind of difficulty to it. So yeah, can't wait for the new Cuphead. And yeah, we'll go ahead and go to this next video. Oh, we got the Sega project.
Do you understand? Yes. I understand.
Oh, this is Alien. Yep. Isolation 2, nice. Oh, Switch 2. It's coming on the Switch 2 as well. I saw that. PlayStation 5 and I think I saw Xbox on there. Talk about nostalgia, right? You know, one of the scariest thing in the 90s to watch was Alien. Right. If for those of you who ever seen it in the theaters, luckily I saw it from home. And still, it was frightening when you were a little kid. But no, the Alien games are very intriguing. You know, they have Resident Evil and Silent Hill like vibes as well, but a little bit more fast-paced combat, maybe, if you will. Because like aliens are much faster than anything you'll see in Resident Evil, right? For the most part, and anything you'll see in Silent Hill, like, you know, they crawl walls and just imagine the way I would put it is it's the equivalent of fighting lickers in Resident Evil that aren't blind and that can actually move fast. So you know what I'm saying? So it probably will be, you know, more quick thinking combat as opposed to Resident Evil. But yeah, I would play that for sure. I never played the first Alien Isolation, but I love the Alien movies. I like the Predator movies as well. And yeah, just the, you know, the nostalgia baiting would draw me in personally on that one.
I mean, I've never been one for the Alien or Alien versus Predator movies. I didn't even realize that was a game series.
Yeah,
So
it is.
I think probably not for me, but it
Right.
does look like it'll be a good game. So for the people who are looking forward to it, I hope you all have fun.
Right. I think the best comparison now I'm thinking about it that may come to mind, like Mass Effect. It might be something like that. So yeah.
It does look really good.
It does. Yeah. Oh yeah. The graphics, like I knew what that was right off the bat when I saw that alien running through. I was like, oh, Alien. Like the graphics were that great. So yeah, we'll go ahead. And it's produced by Sega. So like, you know, we always got to support the old heads, right? The OGs. So yeah, I definitely might look into it just for that reason, right? To keep Sega going.
And keep the studio alive.
Yeah, keep the studio alive, which Sega's not doing bad,
Yeah,
right?
they're doing great.
Yeah, they're bringing back Crazy Taxi, wasn't it?
And
It's a few other nostalgic titles. They got the Sonic.
I was about to say they'll always have Sonic. Yeah.
I think it's the 30th anniversary for Sonic. So
Jesus.
yeah, like they're going crazy right now. They got the tour going on eventually for Sonic, which they're gonna stop in the South, so we might get to see them too in terms of that. But yeah, we'll go ahead to the next one here. for like some Dynasty Warriors type stuff. Entertainment.
河西始于吐蕃50余载，一齐分起，却从未有人坚守如我等之久。今日天枪大捷，以寡破众，陪对着当即首功。
好剑，又进京了！
该你了。
阿爷，大人们说，只要河西归唐，你不打仗，也能守住我们的家。
再不投降，全部杀光！
是死
不降！守住城门！我守不住我的家，我救不了我的命。
人都死了，哪儿来的家？
由来征战地，不见有人还。
真到了那天，我的阿宁，还有像阿宁一样的孩子们，就再也不用怕没有家了。
Wow.
Yeah, that was impressive. Who is this
Hey.
24 Entertainment, by the way?
It's my first hearing of all of this, the studio and this game.
Yeah, that's impressive work. Like I would
Mhm.
definitely play that. I was saying Dynasty Warriors in the beginning, but it looks like more one-on-one combat than Dynasty Warriors. You know, that's all about
Mhm.
like fighting like 50 folks at one time.
Mhm.
But no, I would definitely buy that as well. And the
Mhm.
story looks interesting too. You know, like protecting your home looks like to be the theme, right? And it looks like there's ties to like family in there, you know, so that brings even more of an emotional connection to it. But yeah, I definitely would put that on the list of games to watch for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, I think too. In all media, I tend to be drawn to like historical period
Yeah,
pieces. So I'm
same.
interested to see from that perspective, and also the emotional beats that you mentioned. And something that I really appreciate as a trend in gameplay and like combat specifically in gameplay that I really look forward to and that I appreciate is how it stays like cinematic. It
Right.
doesn't break from the storytelling piece to be actually fighting,
Right.
and it makes it almost feel like you're playing through a movie versus a game or like playing through to get to a cutscene.
Mhm.
So, and I'm just impressed by like the graphics, the rendering, the storytelling, even what they managed to put into just one trailer has
Right.
me intrigued. So, yeah, that's on my list to watch too.
Yeah, it felt, you know what it felt like? Now that it felt like Attack on Titan.
Mm,
Yeah,
I
it
can
felt
see
like if you
that.
were playing an Attack on Titan game,
Yeah,
that's what it would feel like.
especially with the score. Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, that was dope. All right, so we'll go to the next one here.
調べたぞお前らのこと海の向こうじゃアジア人ってんでのけ者にされて日本じゃ毛頭扱い俺は何人なんだって何度も思ったろ敵討ちか
Yeah, I'm not
つ
sure
まら
what
ね
you're
えこと
looking
に
at
人
here, but
生
it's
使ってん
good.
だ
Oh,
大統領
この件にけじめをつけねえと俺の人生始まらねえんだ
You're wrong. Sorry, Kelly.
went all out, didn't he? Tupac.
No way.
What's going on here? Stranger Than Heaven. Interesting.
Indeed. Oh, Xbox exclusive too.
Yeah, and so that means, hey Jazz, if we want to play as Tupac, we got to get an Xbox now. You know.
I mean, did the state sign off on this?
Yeah, did Miss Shakur sign off on this? Like, what's going on, man?
Stranger Than Heaven, indeed. That's
Yeah.
like a crazy cast listing for one thing.
Right?
For another, again with like the very cinematic presentation,
Yep.
even just like the way that played out, at least from like a graphical perspective, you can definitely see like the influence of like Wes Anderson and the framing and the
Yep.
type
L.A.
choices.
Noire.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like when
So
they were in the car.
yeah.
They were
I don't
that old
I don't know.
Cutlass. Cutlass, wasn't it?
Man, but I can't imagine like what the game itself would be about.
Me neither.
I'm intrigued.
Me too. Me too. I mean, anytime you throw Tupac in there, like you got our attention. So
It's just like a crazy mix of characters.
it was. And bringing it into Asian culture too. I was like, okay, you know. But
Mhm.
then again, I don't know. Like, you know, we've seen it work too. Wu-Tang Clan, right? You know,
Mhm.
big Asian culture influence. So yeah, we'll check it out though. So yeah, let's go to this next video.
Is it dangerous? Edward. Privateering. Is it dangerous?
Wouldn't pay so nice if it weren't.
I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Gentlemen, we do not plunge headlong into folly on the orders of a single madman, but act according to our own collective madness. So I'll put it to the vote. All those in favor of storming this cove and taking this ship, stomp and shout aye!
Can you feel it, Addy? We're moments away from the grandest prize of all.
After you, Captain. Path ahead is dangerous.
Don't save me a spot in hell, Shatka. I ain't coming soon.
Okay, so we got Assassin's Creed. Was that Black Flag? You said?
Resynced, yeah. So I'm wondering if it's. I'm not familiar with the Assassin's Creed.
Me neither. I only played the first
franchise.
one and didn't even beat it.
Mhm.
But no,
Yeah.
they're interesting storylines for
Mhm.
sure. Like, I mean, I like a game that's different, right? Like, we don't have a lot of pirate games out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always have been into that aspect of gaming where you can find it. Like I say, it's not like it's an abundance of pirate games out there. I would play that. I would play that for the whole like the battling on water type of
Mhm.
thing. Like you don't get that often. Of course, like you know, the thing with Assassin's Creed, the big thing is about scaling buildings and taking a high ground in the scene, right? But
Mhm.
I would play it for that whole aspect of just like the combat on water. Like that's something that you don't get to do every day. So I would put that on the list for me personally.
Probably not for me, but I would watch someone play it. And it said Black Flag 2 Resynced, so I'm not sure if it's like a continuation of a prior title or like a reimagining of a prior title. But either way, I think Assassin's Creed is really carved out its own niche. So I'm sure it'll be well received by
Yeah.
fans, or at least I hope so. It could be in here like, no, this looks like it sucks. I wouldn't know.
Right. Hey, look, I'm not too far behind with you on that because again, I only played the first one and didn't beat it. So yeah, all right, we'll continue here. Oh, I heard about Paramount in their first campaign. This is their project. That game's okay. Be interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
immediately,
yeah, I know
yes.
what this is. Yeah.
Immediately, yes.
I know what this is.
I thought I heard the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles song.
Yep. Oh yeah, that is going to be dope.
That's all I need to see. Yes.
Yeah. So of course, like with Platinum Games making it like Bayonetta, like in my top 6 of games, probably. So like
It's such an oddly specific number.
No, because like I did my top 5 on podcast once, and Bayonetta didn't make the top 5. So I was like, yeah, it's definitely in the top 6. It's some classics I put in there, but yeah. Oh, The Last Ronin, what a great idea to make a game of, right? Like, it was so well received, right? It's a little heartbreaking in a sense that it's a little bit darker Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles than me and you grew up watching, right? In the sense that it's about Michelangelo being the last turtle left, basically. And that's him. And he's got to carry on his brother's legacies, like some things happen. Yeah. Some things happen to Splinter and the rest of the turtles, and even Casey, their buddy Casey. Something happened to him too. I don't know about April, but Michelangelo has to carry on their legacy, and he has everybody's weapons from all of his brother's weapons. So like he's like the ultimate form of a Ninja Turtle, right? Like he has Donatello's staff, he has Leonardo's katanas, and he has Raphael's slides. I think either the last one standing is either Mikey or Raphael. I think it's Mikey though, which would make the most sense because when you think about it, it's like, who is the one that had the most growing up to do? Right? You know what I'm saying? It's Mikey. Everybody would say it's definitely Mikey. So yeah, I would play it, man. It would be a little heartbreaking to play because I'm not used to seeing all one turtle and not the rest of them. But I would definitely play it. It's a game that I would put like on the top of my list whenever it comes out.
Same here. That's on my list as well.
Yep. Love it. Okay, so we'll go to the next one here.
On Earth, mankind measured time by seasons, not sirens. For a moment, the future felt promising.
They're inside! They're inside!
Out here, that promise is a lie. Every breath taken is inside an armored shell. You're our last hope. The darkness coming for us. It remembers one man. The pilot. Find me. I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about Gundam. I'm a big Gundam fan. I would definitely play, even though some of them aren't great. The game, you remember when the new Gundam Breaker came out? I wanted it just because it came with a Gunpla. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, like I'll get the values there in the Gunpla alone. But this looks a little bit better than actual Gundam Breaker to me. This has a story. You know what I'm saying? Clearly has a story to it. So that alone, right? Like, I don't think I've seen a Gundam game with this much of an intriguing story. Most of them are just like games that have a story, but it's more so about multiplayer, right? And it's more so about customization. Like that's why people like are drawn to them. It's like, oh, like I could put this part on this Gundam, and like I could play this with my friends. You never hear anybody say like, I'm interested in this Gundam because of the story. This one has a story, and it kind of feels Gundam Wingish in terms of the story, right? A little bit, which is my favorite Gundam series ever. So yeah, I would definitely play this. No questions asked. I'll put that on the wish list for sure.
Yeah, I think it looks great. The cutscene especially was gorgeous. I wondered in the beginning when they were showing the sunflowers if it was like actual video. So I think obviously like Unreal Engine, I'm sure the rendering of all of the cutscenes will be beautiful. I'm curious about what gameplay actually looks like and how story driven the gameplay feels. But I'm definitely intrigued by it, and I'm with you that it reminded me a lot of Gundam Wing from the glimpses we were able to see.
Yeah, man, good old Gundam Wing, man. Hero Yui, the god of crashing out.
Can you blame him?
Yeah, I mean he was going through a lot, man. Yeah, he was. So, all right, we'll go to the next one here. I hope
people are endlessly disappointing. They're greedy. They're cruel. They lie. They're bullies.
Yes, dogs? Yeah, I got one of them.
So that's what I say when I look at someone like you. Bully.
See, that's where we're different. I genuinely like most people.
Oh, well, then you're truly a sick fuck.
We need to move. They'll be coming for you.
Coming for us. You're not one of them anymore.
Yeah, well, that's temporary. Just like you and me.
You guys don't understand the real threat. Not like we do.
Hurry, stay low! I gotta work with my enemy to survive. So be it. For now.
Either we fight those things together, or die alone.
I have the boat. No. Do not touch him.
We fight together or die alone.
Oh, clearly we got Star Wars coming up here. But before we get to that, there's the Millennium Falcon, the good old Millennium Falcon, man. If you're from the 90s or 80s and you don't recognize that ship, something's wrong. But yeah, no, the Crossfire game, that's an interesting dynamic. I would play that too. It felt a little bit The Last of Us, a little bit, pairing with somebody and your survival kind of depending on the next person that's next to you. It felt a little like that. I like the scenes too, right? Just it looks like a lot of canyon-based scenes, a lot of mountain-based scenes, a lot of like rough terrain-based scenes. And I mean the whole aspect of the storyline of like, obviously they, based on what we heard, they're on the opposite side of, they're the ops to each other, and now they got to work together. So that alone will make the game interesting. I would put that on my wish list.
Yeah, it did look interesting. I'm especially intrigued by it seemed like very straightforward kind of war game in the beginning, but there's clearly some kind of like bioterror aspect. Wasn't expecting that, and really interested in seeing more about it. I'm not typically a big war type of game enthusiast. I'm not good at them.
What is it good for? Absolutely not. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I'm not good at them at all. But that looks like it has a really interesting aspect of, I'm not sure co-op play is the right word, but just having to, like you said, partner with another character and like stay together on the battlefield. Or I'm also curious like how that relationship might survive whatever mission they're on. If somebody gets double crossed, or if that alliance forms and it's permanent. Yeah. So I'm interested to learn more about it.
Me too. Yeah, I'll be looking out for more on that. And I will say that co-op would be interesting because obviously one person can cloak, like, and the other can't. So like, they kind of, I guess they can help mask each other's weaknesses, if you will. So that could be fun in terms of the co-op gameplay. All right, so we'll get into the Star Wars here. We were mentioning Star Wars earlier, funny enough. But yeah, let's check this out, see what this is all about.
Oh, racing game.
Welcome
I showed you earlier,
to Durban Acos.
Oh.
Instagram. Okay, so I got more footage. Okay.
Where champions are born and losers annihilated. My sources say you've been making friends amongst our fellow League pilots.
Racers don't go head-to-head against Sebulba. Legends do.
They are not your friends.
I've seen you at Kestar's side.
Stay out of my way.
Oh, this is the dream shape.
There's a reason why they call Kestar Bull the champion. The golden age of the Galactic League begins now!
Yeah, telling you right now, I'm getting that. Well, you already knew I was getting that because I already had said it when I saw the first trailer some months ago. And they made a Star Wars racer years and years. Oh man, it was like I think it was GameCube like era. And it was pretty fun too. And I like high speed racers, right? Like, I mean, obviously I like Need for Speed and stuff like that, but I like those like games where it's like even higher speed racing and like terrain based racing, where you gotta like weave through the terrain and be mindful of the hazards of the terrain, right? It's a game it's escaping me right now. You seen me play it on the Switch too.
Mhm.
It's a racer game too that's terrain based. It's made by an independent company. I'm blanking on it. I love that game. Like I play it like once a week. But yeah, that's up my alley, man. I would play that. I saw a special edition for it that they were releasing that kind of caught my eye too, but I had to look back at it. I probably just get the standard edition of this. But yeah, I already got this on my list, so I'm ready for this one. And it comes out in October. That's a great month for for a lot of people in terms of games and just a lot just going on in the month of October. A lot of fun things going on. But yeah, I'm the game for this one.
I would probably pick this up too. I am not the best at like high speed racers. I think when it comes to racing games, I do prefer like the Mario Karts and Diddy Kong Racings of the world,
Right.
where the focus is more so on like the world that you're racing in
Right.
versus necessarily like terrain based or very high speed games. But I do enjoy playing them still, even though I'm not great at them.
Right.
Like obviously like the F-Zeros, and I would even put Kirby Air Riders in the high speed
Oh yeah,
category.
for sure.
And even when franchises do this, when they like break away from their main thing to create like basically a fully fleshed out what would be a mini game in an ordinary game in the franchise, like a fully fleshed out racing game, I get a kick out of that. So I think I pick it up.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. Like I said, the one they made back in the GameCube days, it was pretty fun too. So, I will be putting that on my little list at GameStop.
Oh, this is y no te creas, dice Henry Stone, Robert of the Rams, son más dura que la brea. Primera ronda te noqueo como Herrera. Primera ronda te noqueo como Herrera. Este soldado está preparado para la guerra. Este soldado está preparado para la guerra. Este soldado está preparado para la guerra.
Are we talking about your ex?
Hey,
I've got an idea for you.
Hey, it's Yellow. Bet you're hungry after this morning, huh? Same as usual?
Your sister's really taking this whole job thing seriously, huh, Divina?
I know.
They really weren't kidding about this being a fighting town.
We're all fuck-ups. Otherwise, we wouldn't be living in Villa Sapara. Kill them all.
Hey, it's me.
There he is!
Shit.
This is not gonna blow over, Cielo. You fucked with the Chinese mafia.
One more move and I'll cut the fucking head off!
All right, just take it easy.
play the part of a fighter, but you are lacking in kung fu.
Rise over the cries, city of blood, sweat, and survivors. Lives rolling like dice. Once you're inside, there's no surrender.
That's Pai Chan!
Who's Pai Chan?
What?
Oh, nice.
So it's a Virtual Fighter spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's even more dope. How lastly, you just mentioned not too long ago in the last video, like it's fun to see companies veer off from what they normally do, right? And this is the case here. I don't know if you've seen the new Virtual Fighter in the combat, but the combat is like unlike any fighting game ever. Like it's real fluid combat. Like somebody did like Will Ospreay's hidden blade finisher move on somebody.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I've never seen combat like this. You know what I'm saying? It feels like real action movie, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee combat live. You know what I'm saying? And this kind of gave vibes of that too, as you saw like glimpses of it. So yeah, no, that is very interesting. A Virtual Fighter crossover, Virtual Fighter. What am I trying to say? Something different. Spinoff, right? A Virtual Fighter spinoff. A little bit something different than they normally have been doing, but incorporating that new combat style that they've incorporated into the new Virtual Fighter and putting it in the actual story. So yeah, that is an intriguing title to put on the wish list for sure. I think that might be one of the more, in terms of everything we've seen, more interesting games that we've seen just because of them going in a different direction. And now we also know what kind of graphics and things they're capable of combat wise through the new Virtual Fighter that they are making or have made.
Yeah, I'd echo all of that. That's another series that I'm not terribly familiar with, but based on what I've seen, and especially looking at the style choices in this title, for one, I'm excited about the soundtrack. I like when video games do something different with the soundtrack and going like honestly the pop route versus the very orchestral like score route. And Virtual Fighter, from what I know about it, has always felt like a very pop culture driven game. So I'm excited to see how that plays a role, and I would watch it to learn more. I'm not big on fighting games. I know when people watching this are going to be like, what do you play? I'm not big on fighting games. It's something I prefer to watch than play. But I'm interested by it nonetheless. It looks really good.
Yeah, it does. It does. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one here.
100 years have passed since the genesis of your legacy.
Oh, I know.
They call you a monster.
Oh, this is Saw.
Yeah.
But I call you a prophet. Pain is our only true path to redemption. It strips away the lies that people tell themselves. Only then do they get to see what really makes them tick. A sacrifice must always be paid in blood. Live or die. Your book, bound in blood. inspires those who are worthy. The spiral bleeds ever deeper. Let the games begin.
All right, I'm gonna flat out come out and say it. I'm good on the Saw Genesis. I pass.
Yeah, they can keep that.
Yeah,
Y'all got it.
but the graphics look crazy. I mean, it's most definitely Saw. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And this is crazy coming from a horror game fanatic, right? But bringing the whole element of putting contraptions on people or having to escape from the contraptions don't feel like it'll be good for my blood pressure, right? Even when we were playing Resident Evil, the part where the grinder starts, right? That
Mhm.
part almost gave me a heart attack. Like, trying to survive through that part because I did not want to see Grace go in the grinder. And I have seen some gruesome things on games, but this feels like that, right? It feels like Dead Space because Dead Space. The thing with Dead Space is obviously it's a sci-fi horror game, but the deaths are what make Dead Space Dead Space. When you die and these enemies get a hold of you, how gruesome the deaths are. This got like Dead Space vibes to it, but I'm gonna leave this to somebody else to play. I'll pass on that.
Yeah. I don't have much to add. I just immediately know.
Yeah. Like, I
This
mean,
is 3v1 multiplayer horror game.
it's more. Oh wow. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely pass on that. Yeah, but no, I mean, it looks like it will do some good numbers. But we'll go to the next
Sure.
one.
Y'all be safe though.
Right.
In ebbing spring, the skies will clot. Our shedding seeds made piles of rot. Odions cast with tempers rare. Red minnows squirm in tainted clay. 3 virtues known, not all recast. For wrath, and doom, and death are last. Find me, fawn, or I'll find you.
So interesting. All right.
Pretty
What you
cool.
think of that?
It was nice. I feel like a lot of these trailers aren't giving much to go on,
Right.
especially if you don't have a broader awareness of whatever series or franchise is attached to the title. But I do think that looked really interesting. It gave me kind of RuneScape vibes at first, but anything with like mythological creatures is something I'm intrigued by. And
Yeah.
it looked like there was a female protagonist too. I like that we're seeing more of that this year. So I would check it out.
Yeah, I would check it out too. It felt a little Zelda, like a
Mhm.
mature Zelda Breath of the Wild, like which everybody know I love Zelda. So yeah, I would check that one out. But yeah, we'll get to the next one.
I was born to be the collector. To protect a world I cannot be a part of. Destined to be feared for what I am. It is my fate. I have devoted my life to facing them. Those granted the power to raise souls. Those corrupted by their gifts. Tilting the ancient balance toward cataclysm. But at last, their debt is due. Every choice, every breath has led me to this moment. As the moon bears witness, I take the first step. My time has come. I am ready.
Oh, we might got some more Star Wars here.
Mhm.
What did you think of that game? Very Salem witch trials-ish, you know?
Yeah, I was getting like sacrament vibes.
Yeah, I might stay away from it for that reason.
Like a little creepy,
Yeah, a
but it
little
could be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I will watch somebody play it for sure before I play it.
Yeah, I'd watch a playthrough. Mhm.
Right, right. But no, that's an interesting and different dynamic to go in. Like nobody's kind of going in that direction, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Obviously it's going to be a horror title. But yeah, like I think the closest thing I can kind of think of to that, man, I honestly like maybe the Alice in Wonderland game a little bit.
Oh.
Which I like that game by the way a lot.
Mhm.
But it might be that times 5 a little bit. Like this might be a little more crazy and out there and outlandish. But yeah, no, I mean I'll watch some playthroughs of it, but I might leave that to some other people, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
All right, so yeah, I think we got some Star Wars here again, I think.
You want to fight? Intelligence was just briefed on reports of a separatist fleet massing in the Serralona system.
Then we need to make our move.
You got someone?
Zero Company.
You still got it, old man.
What do you got for me, Penick?
We're at Silius. Coyle's been spotted meeting with local gangsters. Get down there, find out what they're up to. But please, do it quietly.
Griff.
Shot in contact.
My team's got a contract to put an end to Fathom's plans.
I've been tracking Fathom for months. She's at the center of it all.
All right, let's get a team together.
I want in.
I'm not in it for the credit.
There we go!
He was a good operator. He knew the risks.
The circle must be closed.
We work with all kinds of folks. Ex-separatists, ex-noble, ex-cons. And we're better for it. We're almost there. We just gotta finish this job.
General Skywalker.
All right. So we got a Star Wars Zero Company game here, which right off the rip, this is Star Wars version of Advance Wars. You remember Advance Wars on Game Boy? So this is like that. where you strategize and you strategically make your moves on a platform. I mean, there's probably more to it than that. I never really played Advance Wars like that. I would play this though. Like, I mean, like I wouldn't say like it's on the top of my list. That Star Wars Racer game definitely is a must get for me. But no, I would play this for the simple fact of I like games that you have to think through and strategize through, and then also too, like they showed Luke Skywalker at the end there, or was that that actually looked like Anakin Skywalker, but he said Luke in the trailer, right?
I couldn't hear,
Mhm.
but I assumed it was Luke.
Yeah, okay. It was so if it
Based
was Luke,
on
then he's supposed to be a good guy. But if that's Anakin, then that might be him before he becomes Darth Vader. You know, he looked like Anakin, but who knows? We'll go back and look at that one later. But no, I like this whole idea of a strategic war-based game, but also too something you could do multiplayer with your friends. And also like what caught my ear was when the guy was talking, he was saying, you know, like this basically he alluded to this will be a game where you work with convicts, you know, you'll work with people on the side of the republic, you'll work on
Mhm.
people that's not on the side of the republic, so on and so forth. So like that aspect makes it even more interesting of the different people you'll have to work with throughout the game.
Mhm. Yeah, it makes me curious about who the enemy is in this
Right.
game.
Yep.
And I was going to say the same thing about Advanced Wars, not hearkening to that exact game, but it
Mhm.
looks like there's elements of like tower defense
Yep.
in the game, and being kind of a like tactician with the moves that you're making on the board or the battlefield, so to speak.
Mhm.
I like that there's the ability, or there seems to be the ability to customize a character, and obviously I'm sure they all come with their own set of like strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
The one clip of them basically honoring a fallen soldier
Mhm.
makes me wonder if it's like permadeath for the characters,
Right. Right.
or you know how regeneration works in the game, but it looks interesting. I feel like too there's a possibility there's like so many different outcomes
Right.
based on the choices that you make. So I'd be interested in that one. I might actually place that one above the racing game for me, but they both look really interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean Lucasfilms is doing a good job with,
Hmm.
you
And they're
know,
staying busy.
yeah, they're staying busy. They keep even though, you know, they might not be making movies at times, but they got the games, you know. Now I will say if I think this one was made by EA. Some of the EA Star Wars games haven't gone according to plan, in terms of what people thought of them and thought they would be. But I could see this one being a low key gem. Um,
Mm.
in the Star Wars, and they got a lot of those in the Star Wars gaming realm. It's a lot of games that like people don't know of that are actually good games, and then it's some that you know you play and it's like, oh, this was disappointing. This fell way short of what I thought it was. I think this will be one of those gem games, though. All right, so we'll go to the next part.
We all have our own reasons for coming to this vast frontier. But for our guild, we who protect this land, one reason stands above all others: our wonder. You feel it too. I see it in your eyes. Wonder at the astonishing power that shapes this land of awe. At the great spirits to whom we are bound. At the gods who hold dominion over all. We cannot guarantee your comfort or even your safety. But if you yearn for horizons unexplored, for fellowship and purpose, for a cause worth dying for, to you, we can promise magic.
Oh, Guild Wars. Okay.
Sounds like it got a warm reception.
Yeah. I've never played a Guild War. But I mean, like you mentioned this too. Like, it's always intriguing when it's a tie into like mythology and stuff.
Mhm.
So that might alone right there might make it real intriguing. I don't know if I put this on my list personally, but I have heard of Guild Wars and it does have a good following. And if I see somebody having fun with it, like if I watch some gameplay and see somebody having fun with it, I might jump in there, but I wouldn't put it at the top of my list.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat where I'm not familiar with the series. I've heard of it, of course.
Right.
It probably wouldn't be the top of my list, but I'll always appreciate the kind of detail that's put into trailers like this.
Right.
It looks beautiful, and MMOs aren't things that I find myself playing often, just because I prefer like solo or story-driven single-player games. But I've heard great things about Guild Wars, and I feel like that'll be well received.
Yeah, I'm happy for the Guild Wars fan base. I'll put it that way. All right, so we'll go to the next one here.
You certainly have reasons to hate me. My son, you've ruined my life. We crave the same thing.
Evil? Am I evil? They adore me.
You're a pawn in Brentus's hands, nothing more.
This won't end well for you.
I've done the unthinkable for my own family.
Determination is not enough to cheat your fate, Dawnwalker.
How many innocents did you drain dry? Maybe we aren't so different after all.
The blood of Dawnwalker. Okay. We got a little bit of a this feels like medieval sinners. What that felt like to me. I would play this. I mean, like, again, it wouldn't be at the top of my list, but it does feel like a medieval version of Sinners. And of course, it looks like it'll be one of those more mature games. And it might be one of those games you kind of mentioned too, like consequence based, but we got stuff to go off here.
Yeah, not much to go off of, but from what we've seen, it looks really interesting. And I am just excited to see many original titles being introduced. I'm assuming it's original, unless like Dawnwalker is the series, but
original.
It's an inside joke.
Yeah, they won't pick up on that one.
But no, it's neat to see, at least I'll say, so many like new titles introduced too, in addition to the classics and renditions of the classic series and franchises that we're familiar with. So and I'm interested too that Bandai Namco is involved in this.
Yeah, they got some interesting things going on, like between all the people from Tekken leaving, like having disagreements with them. So like, it feels like they're losing a lot of key parts. So you have to wonder, like, will games suffer from that? But yeah, we'll see. I would definitely I would put it on my list, but probably not at the top, but it does look interesting. All right, so we'll go ahead and go to the next game we got here.
Among Us.
Oh, these guys, I forgot their names. Yeah, the Among Us, guys. Yeah, I've never played a Among Us, but it's real popular on Twitch. Like, I see a lot of
Mhm.
people playing it on Twitch. It now I wouldn't say it's something that I wouldn't play for sure. It does look like it has its fun elements to it, but, um, I'm not real versed in the Among Us, like, in terms of, like, what it's about and what have you. So, like, I would have to really see some exciting gameplay to draw me in, but I'm not
Mhm.
opposed to playing it. It did look fun though, I'll give you that. Like, it looked like you had, like, elements of, like, stealth in it, you know what I'm saying? They were crawling through the duct. I'm like, "Well, how does that even tie into Among Us?" But, um, yeah, I was like, "Oh, man, that's kinda like Resident Evil," you know, where Grace crawling through ducts and crawling through sewer lines and all of that type of thing, but
It's
it was
almost
interesting. Yeah.
nothing like
No, I'm saying,
Resident
like, the
I know
stealth
what you mean,
element,
though.
right, to get into
Yeah.
another room, you know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Like, and, you even seen that in, like, of course, like, Metal Gear Solid, but, like, you see it in games that it's just not intended for, and it all ties into it, like Resident Evil and Bayonetta.
Mhm.
It's, like, parts where you do that in, like, Bayonetta as well, surprisingly, but, yeah, I don't know what you thought of it, but it looked okay.
Yeah, I never, played Among Us. I do have some familiarity with it because I know that was, like, one of those games that was really popular, kinda, like, post-pandemic,
Mhm.
but, my understanding of it is, like, you have to determine who's the imposter in a group of people who are
Okay,
playing,
okay.
or so it's, like, I guess, like, one person's the traitor, and you
Right.
have to, through process of elimination, determine who they are.
Yeah, kinda
Um
Ace Attorney-ish of process of elimination of finding out who did something that they weren't supposed to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, I could be reading it wrong, but that's what I've always, like, assumed about
Mm.
it. I probably wouldn't play it myself, but I will say, like, in terms of how fun gameplay is, I think that's one of the things that depends on your party. Like, if
Right.
you're playing in a group of friends, it's very much probably determined based off of, like, the personalities that you have
Yeah,
gathered.
that
Um,
makes sense. Right.
and, I like the evolution in the art style. It's
Mhm.
always been kinda, like, cute and cartoonish,
Right.
and it looks like they've stayed true to the original, art style,
Mhm.
just kind of evolved it a little,
Right.
but yeah, it looks cute, it looks fun. If my younger brother asked me to join a game or 2, I probably would.
Right, right, yeah. Those are the kind of circumstances that will bring me into it too. It's like,
Mhm.
Phil hit me up, "Hey, you wanna play Among Us?" I guess, you know? I end up liking it, right? But
Yeah.
we'll go to the next one here. Oh, yeah.
Wyveria negated the weight of buildings and mounted the sky.
I can't stop wondering, how can all this exist up amongst the clouds?
They can affect the environment with just their presence. A moving natural disaster.
Too powerful to tame, too difficult to reproduce. Sounds like an elder dragon.
Alright, so I don't know, I think Monster Hunter Wilds is an existing title, I think.
It
And it
sounds like it.
yeah, and this might like a DLC or, a spinoff for it or something like that. I've never played a Monster Hunter personally. And it's not because it's not interesting. Like I like those types of games, like because they give off Final Fantasy vibes, like Final Fantasy 13, where you're not where you're like in the field in the open areas and stuff like that. And kind of like the Final Fantasy with Noctis is kind of like that. It gives off vibes like that as well. And like those old school games, like oh boy, I'm gonna tell my age now. Jade's Cocoon. It kind of feels like that a little bit as well. But I would play this. But again, like Monster Hunter's on the top of my list, but it's not because they don't look fun and they're not visually pleasing. It's just something I never got around to. But interesting title nonetheless.
Yeah, I kind of get Breath of the Wild vibes from it
Right.
too. Seems like one of those games that rewards exploration.
Right.
But yeah, looks interesting.
Yep. All right, so we'll go to the next title here. Oh, I know what that is coming up next. But yeah, Power World, Jazz. Is this the company that Pokemon's trying to sue?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's interesting to see it presented at Summerfest because I think it's been kind of controversial in that it is reheating a bit of Pokemon's nachos, but Pokemon fans in general have been hungry for a game where they can like truly explore and interact with Pokemon in that way.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see. It looks great, and coming from somebody who is a pretty big Pokemon fan, I see both sides of that coin.
Right.
I think that kind of gameplay is something that Pokemon fans have wanted for a really long time,
Right.
and it's especially interesting to see kind of a more not battle driven. I guess I would say like battle and story driven world where the trainer, essentially the person catching the creatures, is as much a part of the battle as the creatures themselves are. So it looked really interesting, but it definitely gave Pokemon vibes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like she literally had a Pokeball in her hand. It was crystallized. Literally. I think, like I'll say this. I like the fact that Pokemon has influenced other people. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't really bother me like that is very similar to Pokemon because I also saw like other influences in there too. It's not just Pokemon. Like it's not exclusive to it. I saw Final Fantasy influences where her creature turned to a monster. Final Fantasy, right? Mog turns into a bow and arrow. You know,
her creature turns into a weapon.
Right. And he can turn into a sword, as we saw in Final Fantasy 13-2 for Sarah. So I saw like influences of that, and like it feels like a game that's influenced by many titles, but most definitely Pokemon. That's the obvious one. But I saw Final Fantasy in there. I saw Breath of the Wild with the environment, right, and the big dragon that you have to fight. That's Breath of the Wild right there for you in a nutshell. So like it's got a lot of influences on it. I would play it, honestly. I would, and I think it would be fun.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it would be fun. And overall, I feel like when there is competition, ultimately, like the consumer gamers win.
Right.
Because if through this, the Pokemon, well, not necessarily the Pokemon company, but like Game Freak or any of the studios like attached to the development of Pokemon games do feel like they should be pushed in the mechanics of their games or the features in their games, then that would make ultimately a better Pokemon game too. So
it's just like it's the whole WWE argument for years and years. They had nobody to compete with, and now Pokemon didn't get to this point where the product was poor or disappointing. But you can only get so much better when there's no competition, right? That's what I'm saying. And WWE was suffering a lot from that. And then AEW came around, and now we saw like a resurgence in WWE a little bit. They're back on the decline now, but like that's what it's kind of a similar situation in regards to you always need competition to push you, and push your boundaries and find out where your boundaries are and make you better. So, all right, we'll get right into this. We already know what this is. Good old Street Fighter. Will be interesting to see what they are talking about here.
Street Fighter VI is already entering year 4, but I can sense that we already have new challengers on the horizon. Fascinating.
Let me make sure I ain't missing the release date here. All right. So oh man, bro, that almost brought a tear to my eye. Right? Man, we got Tifa in Final Fantasy. Tifa. Some people. I'm from the South, so I'm from the South. We got Tifa in Final Fantasy here, and we got some all around new characters. I don't recognize these people from any of the other Street Fighters, so I think they're new additions to the Street Fighter community. And look, man, Street Fighter has been going on for years. It's a lot of characters, right? Even somebody who's been playing it like me will miss some of, but I think these are all new characters. So it'll be interesting to see them. I love the aspect of Ingrid, the latest DLC character, right? And who people would say in terms of power in the Street Fighter world, probably the most powerful Street Fighter. I like Ingrid introducing them and kind of like saying like, oh, we got some competition, but at the same time kind of brushing them off like, like I'm freaking Ingrid, I'm a god, basically. But I like that aspect of her introducing them. Love seeing Tifa in Final Fantasy. She fits it to the T. She fits in a lot of games to the T, right? But her hand-to-hand combat skills will fit right in and flow right in with this. It'll be interesting to see some moves from her and what have you, which we didn't get to see that. But what an announcement, what a crossover, what a collaboration.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I think that Tifa's among one of the more like physical fighters across like Final Fantasy in general.
Mhm.
So it's exciting to see her somewhere she'll get to really flex that combat.
Right.
I am eager to see what her combat looks like in this game, especially.
Yeah.
Um, I know she'll just be kicking the crap out of people for sure, but
Yeah.
I too really like Street Fighter's announcement animations.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just appreciate that they put that kind of artistry into the
Right.
announcement of new characters,
Yep.
and just
You remember the big
rendering them
deal
so.
with them was when they announced the Street Fighter 6 logo. Everybody's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
that don't look like Street Fighter. That's not art like." You know what I'm saying? And look
Mhm.
at what is brought. Like
Mhm.
at all of these announcements, even the ones before these, Ingrid, right?
Mhm.
Ingrid's announcement, Crimson Viper, who I love Crimson Viper.
Mhm.
Like that's who I play with, right? Crimson Viper's announcement, and now this they went in a little bit more of an art animation style with these
Mhm.
characters, and that's more than fine. Like they've done that quite well when they've done it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So, oh man, I can't wait. What a crossover, man! Final
I know,
Fantasy.
right?
Like she could have Tifa is one of those. She could have been in Tekken, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Even though again, Bandai Namco on some BS, right? You know, they can't. They got people leaving instead of like bringing more people in. But she could have fit into that too, like because a lot of people say, well, the combat is a little different. Of course, it is, but with her fist fighting skills, she kind of reminds me of the boxer. Dang, why am I blanking on the boxer? The boxer that's in Tekken, right? And these more hand-to-hand combat style fighters, kind of like Nina and Anna. Even though Anna used a bazooka, but she does use her hands and feet quite well too, as well. So don't get it twisted. Even like Lily acrobatic, right? Who I would
Mhm.
know because I've been playing with Lily for years and using her on Tekken for years. So she could have fit into that, but I mean, what better place to go than Street Fighter? Like that's the creme de la creme of fighting games, honestly. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I think she landed
I'm
in the right
excited for this
place.
one. Yeah. All right, we'll go to the next one.
You're listed here as a private investigator. What does that sort of work entail?
Depends on the night. Most nights, it's watching, waiting for a slip-up. I don't know, someone gets greedy, someone gets brave.
And that's what you were doing the night of the incident.
Yeah. Took me weeks to track them down. They hadn't cast so much as a shadow. Till that night.
You've been hesitant to share with us. I assume it has something to do with confidentiality associated with the job.
Something like that.
Your boss, Miss White, said things didn't go as planned. She mentioned that there was some violence? In the moments when you find yourself losing control, how does the anger manifest itself?
All right, we got something called The Wolf Among Us 2. So apparently this is an existing series by Telltale, who they made the I don't know if you're familiar with The Walking Dead. It's a Walking Dead game that's like a spinoff from the Walking Dead
That's where I
series.
recognize that style
Yeah,
from.
they made that with I forgot the kid's name. It's about a kid that goes through the zombie apocalypse.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I like this. This was the art style. Me and you who talk about art a lot. The art style interesting, right? It felt
Mhm.
like you remember that movie Sin City?
Yeah.
Yeah, the art looked like Sin City. I also got a little hint of this is not a game, but a little hint of Stranger Things in there.
Mhm.
I think it might have been the music that gave me a little
Yeah.
bit of Stranger Things vibes as well. But yeah, no, that different direction in art style, love it. Telltale knows absolutely what they're doing. That's the same art style they use for The Walking Dead. Now that I'm thinking about it with the game,
Mhm.
that's her name, Clementine. So yeah, no, I would play this for sure, for sure. It's an interesting one, and it feels nostalgic, like too. It feels like a title that honestly would have been around 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like it could have been a part of the PlayStation 3 and 2 and 1 era. But yeah, what did you think of that?
I thought it was really interesting. Immediately, it kind of gave me like the same vibe of like a visual novel type of game,
Yeah.
and I got kind of like hints of Sly Cooper with
Yeah.
the art style
Yep.
and just the whole, what would you call it? The investigative piece,
Yeah.
the narrative piece of it. The Walking Dead game you mentioned is what it was reminding me of, but what I couldn't draw to mind.
Right.
And I did not realize that there was a first game in this series,
Mhm.
but I'm definitely interested to play this one. I'm curious about like how much you need to know of
Right.
the previous game. I'm also really interested that there was like a scarecrow and a tin man.
Yeah.
wasn't
It's a lot of
wasn't
I don't want to call it like mythological beings, but yeah,
almost like
like
fairy tale, not fairy
yeah,
tale, but
right, right.
I was
Kind
like,
of
what is the Wizard of Oz?
yeah, yeah.
It's tie in here. I'm curious what they mean by 2023.
Yeah, that's interesting as well. And another game. This might be the perfect example of it. It's Soul Hackers. It feels like Soul Hackers.
Mhm.
That art style, the investigation part of it, right? This felt very Soul Hackers, like which I love that game by the way, and I want to
Mhm.
stream that one day. But yeah, we'll go to the next one here.
지금 넥서스 섹터만 향으로 가는 외곽순환 열차가 들어오고 있습니다.
The outer circle line train bound for Nexus sector is now arriving. Please wait for everyone to exit before boarding.
Oh, is this yeah, yep. I'm gonna shut up.
Oh,
listening.
Scarlet Sin. That's the beginning and end of it all. How about you try taking a hit?
You're acting a little strange today.
Oh yeah? It's our first mission in a while. Aren't you a little excited?
Stop saying weird things.
Okay, take it easy.
Quiet. They're moving.
Initiating C3 sync. Ready, Angel.
Roger, Kenna. Tracking.
출입문 닫습니다. Doors closing. How's it looking out there?
I can't stand crowds. It'd be better for both of us if we got out of here quickly.
In the movies, this is always where things go wrong.
Hey.
Well, I'm just saying. It's a cliche. Wait, the target stopped.
Are
the boat's rain shall cease! In the name of the Father!
Oh, all right, it's all good. Oh man, you know that one brought a smile to my face as a big Stellar Blade fan, right? And Stellar Blade, like I said, with those other titles, that I mentioned, is up there, top 5, 6-ish, 7-ish, somewhere in there, top 8-ish for me.
Top 10.
Yeah, top 10, somewhere in there. I'll have to redo a list because the list I did was like years ago, before Stellar Blade existed, before Expedition 33 existed. So like it's changed a lot since then because there have been some groundbreaking titles in there. But we got a new Stellar Blade Blood Rain, a spinoff, right? Which I would imagine Stellar Blade 2 is still a thing, right? So I think this is a spinoff. I don't think this is Stellar Blade 2. They would have specified that. But wow, what an interesting, because everybody know I played that game crazy religiously. Like last year, I think, or it was year before last. I haven't played it in a while now, but it's so interesting because you get a new character that goes about their business a little bit different than Eve, right? It's hand-to-hand combat, right? Eve had a sword, right? So that's different, very different. It feels like, speaking of which, it feels like if Eve had to be Tifa, that's what she would end up being, right? Like throwing hands with people. So like, and Eve also has the which that character had it too. Eve had the projectile cannon. So it looks like that character has that at the very least. But it looks like more hand-to-hand combat with this character, a character who is a little bit more reserved, right? Don't want to be out there and amongst people as well, which I found is interesting as well. A new world too, because in Stellar Blade 1, you're led to believe that the world you're in is the only one that's still remaining with that kind of life on it. So we got a new setting that we didn't know existed. And just all around excited about that, man. And the graphics look great, just like Stellar Blade 1's graphics did.
Yeah, it looked amazing. I'm excited at the introduction of a new character.
Right.
I feel like that this entry into the Stellar Blade series is a bit more, what would I say? I guess violent isn't the word, because the original Stellar Blade was quite violent, but the enemies that we've seen in the trailer are a lot more like horrifying than I recall the enemies in the first Stellar Blade being, and that they resemble more of something out of like Resident Evil than what you come to expect from that world. And with Stellar Blade, one thing that I feel like I'll always be excited about is what the score is going to be like, what the music will be like. That's such a huge part of the world. Yeah, it's such a huge part of the world and the immersion that you have with the characters. Even just from that little glimpse, we can tell that there's going to be great music in the game.
Yep.
So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about what the story could possibly be, because you mentioned in the first game, we're led to believe that life like that doesn't really exist anywhere else at that time. So I'm wondering, does this precede the tellings of Stellar Blade? Does this tell us anything about how that world got to be the way that it was?
Right.
Or are these like parallel planes of existence?
Yep.
And two, I think just the aesthetic of the world, not steampunk, I guess like cyberpunk, not like the game, but as like a genre of environment is very evident there, where it looks as archaic as it does futuristic.
Right.
So I'm curious about that, but I think that's going to be a really interesting entry into the series.
Right.
And hopefully, I know Stellar Blade itself did get a lot of accolades, if not like the titles that people were expecting it to take home. But I think just being put on the map that way and having that broader awareness of such a new IP in video games will give this game a better chance. So I'm looking forward to it.
I agree. And you mentioned the element of Resident Evil. It is funny you mentioned that. There were elements of that in the first one, just it wasn't as visible. Because a lot of those horror elements weren't seen in the trailers. It's like when you get deep into the game and like side quest, or you get into certain levels of the game that weren't shown in the trailer, you see that. Like I can remember it's one stage that it felt like you remember the room that Ada goes in with all the lasers. They have a room similar to that with like monsters that are kind of like on the zombie end. But again, like most of the monsters in Stellar Blade 1 didn't feel like zombies. They for the most part felt like Final Fantasy type monsters, if you will. But if you like dig deep into Stellar Blade 1, you will see elements of it. And another thing too that when you were talking, that kind of dawned on me, I think they might give this character more personality and more of an opportunity to learn about her and give you more of a connection with this character, because that was one thing that was kind of a weakness is, I wouldn't personally say Eve didn't have a personality, but a lot of people did have that kind of critique of her. It's like, she don't have the strongest personality. We don't know a lot about her. We didn't get that close to her. You know what I'm saying? And I think that this is them listening to that critique, right? Because it does feel like that's part of what the plan is. The character says, like, I don't like crowds, this, that, and the other. I think they're setting people up to like learn more about who this young lady is, and deep into why she's the way she is and what have you. So it's good to see that they're listening when it comes to this game and this series, and I can't wait to play it. I mean, I would go pre-order this right now if I could, but they didn't announce a pre-order for it. But yeah, I can't wait to play it. Can't wait to play it. So yeah, Jazz, I think that did it right there. The Stellar Blade, was that the last one? Yeah, that was the last one. So yeah, I mean, we'll just do an overall recap here. What did you like the most of what we saw?
Yeah, so definitely Code Veronica, Blood Message, The Wolf Among Us, Final Fantasy VII, Power World, and Stellar Blade are top of the list for me.
I'm gonna say Code Veronica, because that's gonna be crazy. Going through Claire's situation in a remake, right? So definitely that. The Star Wars Galactic Racer, of course, man. Like I'm real excited. People don't understand. Like I went to our thread. I'm like, Phil, Boogie, Josh, y'all got to get this, man. Y'all got to get this with me. So that was interesting. Of course, Stellar Blade. I mean, that goes without saying. Like everybody know how I feel about Stellar Blade. The Street
Mhm.
Fighter DLC with Tifa in it,
Mhm.
and it was one more I'm blanking on here. Oh yeah, of
Final
course I know
Fantasy?
Cuphead. Yeah, and Final Fantasy, of course. So
Mhm.
we get to finish and conclude that Final Fantasy journey. But I mean, overall, man, it was a lot of games that I would play and
Mhm.
that I would put on a wish list for sure. Some of them, like, I would put on the back end of a wish list, but we got an exciting time coming up for games, even if some
Mhm.
things don't come out until 2027.
Yeah, I agree. And this was just kind of the tip of the iceberg. We looked at the
Yep.
highlights, so I'm sure there's plenty of other titles, but
Yep.
overall, I think this was a really great time for game showcasing. I know there's still more to come because
Right.
I don't believe Nintendo's had a release date for theirs yet, or maybe it's like the 9th that's been rumored
It is
for when they would do a
coming soon,
direct.
they say.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm sure there's more to come, but
Yep.
overall, just an exciting time for game development, and good to see like the spirit of E3 going strong through showcases like this, even if it's not quite the same or quite what we're used to from like the glory days of gaming expos. It's still a nice way to round up what people are looking forward to or like promising independent titles or new IPs. So all around just good to see. I think the gamers are well fed this year.
Yeah, yeah. Shout outs to Geoff or is it Jeff? I always mess his name up for coming up with this concept to kind of replace that. You'll never replace E3, but fill that void that's left without an E3. Love
Mhm.
that the independent games get looks and shots as well too. That's because that's what it's going to become more about is them getting their opportunity to shine. Because as we all know, the big publishers don't release as frequently as they used to, right?
Mhm.
They're not as motivated as they used to be, right? For some reason, but yeah, no, man, I'm excited too for all of these titles that we saw, or most of them, not all of them, but most
Mhm.
of them. And as you said, man, I think the Xbox showcase still, like we aren't the biggest Xbox fans, but it's going to be some stuff that definitely we would like to play there for sure. And the Nintendo showcase with a lot of people excited about Dusk Bloods, right?
Mhm.
A horror title that people aren't used to seeing on Nintendo, and it's going to be a multiplayer predominantly, and also Tides, a big one I'm high on that I haven't seen yet. Like I'm a little disappointed when shown Tides of Annihilation, which that might get showcased on the Xbox showcase. But yeah, Jazz, I appreciate you coming through and taking the stage with me for something that's new to me. I don't really do reviews on games, right? Like I review football. That's my thing, right? But, with the channel being new, I wanted to get some new content up. Appreciate all you do for the channel as well and taking the stage with me. Anything else you have? Any closing remarks?
Yeah, just thanks for having me. And as always, it's fun just seeing what's coming next in gaming.
Right.
And specifically seeing what's coming next in gaming with you, because I think that that's been like a point of bonding for me and
Right.
you ever since we were little kids. So
Yeah.
thanks for having me. And sorry my commentary couldn't be more colorful, but I
That's
think
okay.
that
Good.
when we do the Nintendo showcase, I'll have plenty to say.
Yeah, we'll probably be screaming and hooting and hollering. Like, like, what got into them? Like this, nothing like that first showcase, right? But no, yeah. As you said, yeah, it really is a key part of our bond, right? And yeah, if we continue to do them, it'll only grow. But yeah, I appreciate it. Everybody as mentioned, I'm Jay, that's Jazz, and yeah, we'll see y'all on the next go round, and we are signing out.